Hey guys, I just wanted to do a video of something I was thinking about the other night. I did pull cards to do a divine feminine and divine masculine reading, and they are actually pulled. But I kind of have like mixed feelings about how I want to do my readings with that, and how I want to bring forth my messages as far as twin flame type stuff or any type of relationship type stuff. But so I'll get into that in a little bit. But my main thing I wanted to start out at, and most of this video I don't even know where it's gonna go. I had this thought when I was sitting on my bed the other night, and it came over me where I was asked if I had, I don't know, the power or the ability to give the gift or basically make the divine masculine you know, what we want them to be, the idea of it, compassionate, loving, communicative, caring, like, you know, embracing, like, our ideal of what we want our partner to be and to mirror us. If I could give that to them, but with the stipulation of it could not, like, they couldn't be with me, or maybe even have anything to do with me, would I still give it to them? And you know, I thought about it for a second, and it was yes, absolutely. I don't think I had to think that long about it, because first and foremost, I would want anybody, especially the divine masculine, to be happy, to really just have their heart's desire, no matter what that situation was or whether I got to benefit from it. Because even from this journey anyways, it's about giving that to yourself first anyways. But I want him to be happy, no matter what the situation is. Not only that, but we come here for a purpose to spread, you know, the vibration of love and a new type of love. And yes, sometimes, you know, you can come together, do that together, but sometimes that may need to be done separately, or sometimes it may need to be done separately for a minute, even to kind of spread that message and help heal others. I mean, that's in a way what we come here to do also. So whether it's temporary or permanent, our main thing is the self journey and the self learning and serving our purpose and our mission. So my main thing, a reason why I'm saying this is I thought about afterwards, I was like, that's a really good way to gauge, you know, how far you are on this journey. If you really had to like really think about that and your answer was either no, or you're like, I don't know, or what, you know, any of that, like, you don't even need to answer anybody else. Like, you'll know by your reaction inside whether you have more work to do. And I mean, even if you are like, yeah, absolutely, you're still going to have work to do. But it's a really good question to ask yourself, you know? Would I give that ability? Would I give that to him or her or whatever, to be unconditionally happy? And I know that's not the way it goes. They have to get it themselves. But to give them to be unconditionally happy and loving and being able to be vulnerable and strong and all of that, it really says something, like something to think about for yourself. I just thought it was a really good thought, like to really think about, you know, how many would you do that knowing that you were not the one who was going to benefit from it? Although you would, in a, you know, cascade effect coming back around in the world. But you know what I mean? That's really something to gauge yourself on and your progress and how you feel about things. And really says a lot about shadow either. Like there's a level of ego and selfishness and lack and fear mentality. And even if you end up saying yes, but you had to convince yourself to do that, heck, even if you say yes, I mean, there's still work. I mean, I didn't have to convince myself to do it, but I had to think about it, which partially was because I wanted to make sure I was being honest with myself. But, you know, I really wanted to picture it and imagine it, and I'm not gonna lie, it would hurt. And then that would be something, you know, else you'd have to learn. But I don't know. It was just an interesting thought. I feel like right now there's a lot of energies of healing going on, a little bit more of even awakening and healing. I don't know how big of an awakening, at least with the wave I'm talking about, that the masculines are going through. They seem to be going through some type of awakening. And I think the feminine sort of are too, or at least they're going into something similar to like the dark night of the soul or a depression. I know today, lately even, but today the strongest, I've had issues coming up of worth and being good enough and codependency really strong. Distraction, just really being tested again to truly be there for myself. I think the feminines, a lot of them have things that they know they're supposed to be doing and has been on their mind that they're supposed to be doing. And some of them are. There's different waves, of course. And then, you know, some doing more work than others, no matter what wave you're on. But not for some reason. And either using other things to distract themselves, or even the masculine to distract themselves. Whether it's because they think they're not good enough, whether they keep telling themselves because of things with the masculine reminding them they're not good enough, whether they don't want to be held accountable for their actions or the chance of the fall or whatever, and their distraction and the sorrow about the masculine gives them subconsciously a reason to do that. I don't know, I try to run it through my head a lot. But I feel like the feminines are really being pushed right now to do that thing, to really get going and do what you're supposed to do. The masculines are too, but I think they're going through some type of awakening. And to be honest with you, at least from what I know about the masculine energy that I know is around me or that I connect with, I mean, they go and they take action. When they get it, they get it. I don't know about the emotional part. I don't know if the feminine will have an easier time than that or not. It's almost in a way like the masculines are being brought to that part. So maybe it's flipping. You know, it probably is actually, to where the masculines are supposed to now go through the emotional part that the feminines went through. And the feminines are now going through, I think, what the masculines were on before, where they were like, you know, hustling and working. I mean, everybody's going to be different on what they were putting their action into as far as the masculine's energy goes. But they were definitely hustling, I believe. And I think they're still going to be, but I think it flipped as far as the energy, where they're now being pushed out of their comfort zones and being asked to take on their other energy. Which is going to make both parties really uncomfortable, really anxious. I mean, then you got that on top of it with all the like astrological things going on. Or maybe they push that. I don't even know. But there's a reason why, at least, I don't know about the ones who talk a lot and are really more on the same page. But I know the ones who either are separated or talk very, very, very little. There is a quietness coming, almost a quietness that is so loud at the same time. But it's in a way hindering the connection, or the, you know, not the connection, but the interaction. But in a way it's helping it at the same time, because it is setting up boundaries, giving kind of breaks, room to grow. It's kind of that push-pull dynamic where it came together, even if it was just in thinking or energy, and then going back off to grow. But I feel like it's also such an unsettled energy that is being pushed in ways that it's not comfortable with, or, you know, just really having to push through blocks to get there. That it's going to be, you're not going to want to talk. I don't think you're going to want to talk to your divine masculines. It's both meant to go inwardly, which I don't, hopefully nobody has an issue with that anyways, because they are going within. It depends. I know in my first phase of things, I did go within for a period, and then sometimes like I grabbed on for dear life. I am past that phase of grabbing on for dear life, but I've even said it to where I've transitioned as to where my focus is as far as my intention. But where it really is still trying to move over. I don't even know if I'm making sense right now. To really look within and sit with myself and like ask, like, what am I trying to get from all of this? From thinking about things so much. Because let's be real, like, a huge part of it is the connection that you feel. Yes, that is undeniable. But a large portion of that is also what we're needing. Because it's not just the connection that we feel, it's that gapingness, that wound, the void that is becoming more and more apparent, as well as the connection becoming stronger and stronger. So a large portion of that thinking and all of that, and I get some of it, we can't control dreams, all of that, but really asking yourself, if you're having a hard time moving forward, why? What are you trying to get from focusing on the masculine, instead of doing what you know also in your heart already that is being guided to you as a gift within yourself or from the universe, that is going to not only make you happy, raise your frequency, but get you on your journey of where you're supposed to be going? Is it the fear of loss? Is it the fear of trust in the universe that if I start to go, he won't be able to find me or catch up? Is it the taking responsibility? Because if you're sad and you're focusing on someone else, part of you is like, at least has something that they're doing, so it's like keeping you busy. I know for me, I have a hard time with my masculine side. It's almost like my feminine and my masculines were like switched off. Like my feminine was trying to be more masculine in the sense of bulldozing and not knowing when to be receptive, but then like my masculine side that should be taking action at things in life was being more like feminine, like more receptive, and not, it was like the opposite, but in negative ways. And really having a hard time pushing through a block of why. Like, why is my body not wanting to go? What about my mind? I don't know if I'd been preconditioned before or through experiences before that things didn't work out, and I don't feel like I had the energy. I don't know. I really have to sit and think about it, and I'll probably think about it and come back because I don't think this video is the time for me to think about it. But I just wanted to give people a thing to think about, because I don't think I'm the only feminine right now that's going to be going through this, that is realizing and getting that push to move and move on to what they're supposed to go do. And then, because I know not long ago I got that wave where I was like, oh yeah, and I was like really riding with it and it felt really good. And then like the depression of it came, like the reality of it came. And, you know, so I'm giving myself time through that too. I don't want to push through it. I want to sit in the emotions and go through that and have respect for it and release it. But there's a huge self-worth thing there. You know, like twin flame or not, spiritual relationship or not, if somebody, they're not participating with you, like they're not coming to you, they're not working with you, like regardless what you feel, and I'm not trying to take this out of a spiritual context and be like, don't go with what you feel. Like, yes, there's a reason why we feel the way I do, but everything about this journey and in life is about balance. Balancing the heart with logic, balancing the light with the dark, balancing feminine with masculine. There has to be a level of balancing the feminine, emotional, and receptive side with the masculine side, and taking action and knowing when to cut it off. Even whether temporarily, whatever, that part doesn't even matter to focus on. But even if it's, and I mean, just moving forward and no one to be like, I'm done, and you go, but also in the sense of thinking about it. Like if you have to give yourself a half an hour to an hour to grieve or give yourself time to work stuff out, then do it. But then know also when it's time to switch and move forward and go do what you have to do. Knowing to take your power back and not sit and stew in things for whatever reason. Whether it gives you a reason not to do stuff, whether you feel like you're not good enough. Because the thing is, if you keep, like, there's a difference between sitting and acknowledging that you feel like you're not good enough, and then sitting there so long that you make it so much more so. Not that you're not good enough, but you get what I'm saying. Like, to not care what other people think, to not become validated by other people's opinions and what they do or what they say, or them being there, or to be in your own power. I think that's one of the reasons my dark night of the soul was like so scary for me, was because when you're in that, I mean, when you're in a depression anyways, but the dark night of the soul is like, I know you have guides, you have people or things guiding you and with you, but you literally feel and are slapped in the face with that reality of being there for just you. Because even if you have people around you who can help you or love you, they can't do anything for you. They can be there if you want to talk or whatever. I don't know how much that helps, but not really. Like, it's one of those moments where there's nothing you can do but just be. And it's kind of one of those things, like, how many dark night of the souls have to be, or have to be experienced before realizing you have to have you. You have to have your own balance. You have to know when to feel and when to think, when to open up and when to close off, when to sit and when to act. And that's where I come to with my readings, as far as love too, but you know, whatever. I mean, it's all love, but especially the twin flames, because it is nice sometimes to hear, like, what is the divine masculine up to hear things that you experience and get validation for that. Like, yes, oh my God, yes. And then also to know sometimes why they're acting or being the way they're acting, of course. But at least in my experience, it's not like you didn't know all that because of your connection. You know. It just gives something else to think on, and like a rabbit hole. Like, it might be fine for some people. I'm not going to say it's not good for no one. Like, especially the ones that are really having like no problem with their masculine side of themselves, and they're just like going, you know, they're tackling. But the ones that aren't, and the ones that are stuck, that are like, yeah, it's my divine, you know, masculine, and you know, they're coming soon, and I'm doing this and this, and watching like just watching video after video. And yes, like, I've gotten stuck in that many times, and I don't want to feed that. Like, I want to feed the part of the journey where I inspire people. I move them to grow and to work on their stuff. because the rest of that comes. You don't have to know. You almost shouldn't know. And what you do need to know, you do. And you have that connection and wanting to strengthen that connection and not the external connection. Because let's face it, most people on this journey are codependents or narcissists, or they're almost one of the same, actually. Or they come from strong tendencies of that. And let's not just replace one tendency or habit with another. It's time to really figure the stuff out and move and put it somewhere else. Not to focus on them, because it's about you. It's always about you. Not them. You. And finding and being there for you. Like, how many divine feminines would be so much farther along? I'm including myself in this. I don't think I'm externalizing myself or taking myself out of it. But how many divine feminines would be so much farther along? Or how many even possible unions would there be more of? If the feminines and even the masculines, but let's talk to the feminines right now. If the feminines put as much energy into growing, learning about themselves, being there and loving themselves, and growing their life, mission, path, all of that, as they did, as much time as they focus on the masculines. Or watch videos. And I'm not speaking to everybody, so I know some people might be like, I do this. Okay. But there's a lot that don't. And I don't just want to say like what the masculine's up to or how they're feeling. And even though that's a beneficial energy, and to be honest, there's enough people out there that do that. You know? Besides your own connection telling you. Like, what there isn't a lot of, and there are some out there, is people telling you how to get past those blocks. And as they're even figuring it out, I mean, a lot of us are healers, if not all of us are healers, to learn to how to heal through our own journey to then help others. And it's just really gonna suck getting not left in the dust. That's a bad thing to focus on, but wasting so much of your time, your youth, your energy, your mental capacity, like your health, to just, it's resisting. It's still resisting to just focus on the masculine. I mean, look at that in itself. Why? What are you trying to get from that? To not feel empty? To give you the energy to do the things that you know you want to do? To give you the spark? To give you life back? It almost seems like an instant gratification type thing, where it's like fast and then it'll burn out because there's nothing to sustain it. instead of walking and fighting through that to eventually find those little glimmers of light yourself. And then they grow and they grow and they grow. And to find who you are and to fight through that darkness. Because of these shifts, I think, that are happening with the masculine and the feminines, they're both going to have to be on those journeys of themselves. I think more than ever, even if you've split up and been on by yourself, like, and been codependent with other relationships, or they have, or whatever, truly just walk in that journey now. Like, now taking the tools you've learned and walking that journey on your own, with your guides and all that, connected, but on your own. And use help if you can, you know, go to other mentors or other twin flames that are farther along, or healers or whatever. But yeah, like, pretty much on your own, and finding your own strength, finding your own stand, you know, you there, like, you becoming whole and not looking to anything else, including the masculine. Because you can know it, all you need to know. But if you're not doing it, it doesn't change anything. And it's not till you do it and create that repetition of new experiences for your body to go off of, that things are going to change and heal for you and give yourself a different perspective to look at things. They're just going to look at things from the past in the same way, in the same wounds you had, which are not correct. And you may know that, like, you may know that. But it's like your inner being, like your subconscious, does not know that. And it won't know that until you give it more things to build off of. Really, in a way, to, like, grow up. Like, just emotionally and mentally and spiritually grow up is pretty much what it comes down to. To take the bull by the horns and move and go, even though you keep waiting and watching and trying to heal, and oh, I hope they're okay, and it sucks what they're doing. I don't know. Does it? I mean, the masculines are like, yeah, they're wrapping up a whole lot of karma and stuff, but they're going and doing the stuff they want to do. They're wrapping up karma, but so are the feminines. The feminines are wrapping up karma of not feeling good enough. They've got to heal just as much stuff and just as much karma as the masculines do. Just different stuff. The only thing is they're sitting and pining and being like, wish I was better, and like not knowing their birth. Pull it back. It's no wonder they're going off knowing who the hell they are. I mean, I know, I get it. There's stuff, wounds behind it. They're not good enough and all that, but they're a little too much in other ways that they're pulling that energy too. Like, take your power back. Know who you are. Whether people resonate with you or not. Whether you have people to talk to about it, whether they agree, whether they know, whether people think you're weird, whether you fail or not. If you fail, it's just, it's just, you know, I don't know, I watched Oprah say that earlier, where it's like God's little message of, you know, good job, but go this way instead. It's a detour. A lot of times you don't know which way to go until you start. And just go. Even if you have a blindfold on, even if it's dark as hell, even if you're like, I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing or if I'm going to trip over something, or if I can stand up, or who's with me. Is someone going to knock me down? Are they going to this? Like, metaphorically, that's what it is. That's what that's what you're going through. To know to be there for yourself when you're just like, look at the need. Look when you're needy. When you're really, because if you're sitting there watching these videos and you're going like, what did they do? What did they do? And blah, blah, blah. You're needy. Why? What are you needing? What is that part of you need? I mean, I can try to guess. I'm with you. I'm trying to figure it out too. Part of me making this video is for us to think together. You know, or maybe someone else has come up with some. I mean, this is a community, and to come together. But you know, it's just something I'm thinking where I'm really trying to figure things out and like, what do I want to do? Because everything else I seem to be focusing on and trying to bring to me, and it's not working, and it hasn't in the past. I don't know. And it's like this weird balance between speaking my truth and standing up for myself and then being needy at the same time. And yes, sometimes I am being needy. And then sometimes I'm not. And I need to speak my mind on, you know, I deserve things too. But, you know, then you get to that thing of, well, if someone doesn't want to be there, do you really want them to be there? And I don't know. And I see the lesson in it and going and being there for myself, but then speaking up, I don't know. It's just a cluster of ideas, but that I'm working through. And I'm purposely being like foggy minded right now. Like, I don't know if you've watched any of my other videos where I flow more. I'm not flowing right now, and I know it, and I can feel it. Because of, I know I'm going through some other type of like additional awakening, and dark night. That this time I'm trying to balance self-care and working through it with it. But finding my power, finding who I am and my worth, knowing my worth, and knowing that no matter what, I stand tall. I don't know. It's just a lot. It's some good stuff to think about. Definitely not one of my more flowy videos. But it's the stage I'm at right now. You know, this is real stuff. This is real talk. This is what I wanted to do with my videos, was document myself through the process. You know, so obviously as I go through certain things, it's not always going to be beautiful. But it's kind of a lot of the stuff I'm dealing with right now, and I feel like it's common with the feminines. Is worth issues. You know, neediness. Codependency, I think, is coming up a lot. Also, I think like Mars retrograde is like literally right around the corner. So it's that agitation and grabbing on and the fear and being there for yourself, learning who you are. Being okay as the reality and the perception changes. Imagine, like I said, imagine that if your masculine was everything you wanted and he woke and was with somebody else. I'm not trying to say that to bring like negative energies or lower vibrations. I just think it's a really good indicator of where you are on how you react to that. It is a possibility. There are many possibilities. But our self journey and the mission of raising the frequency on the planet and helping others is really the first and foremost. Not the egoic connection. And I know a lot of people find it easier to have compassion too when they watch the videos and they know what the masculines are going up to, but why? Why do you have to know what they're going through to have compassion? I mean, their actions alone, like the devil. Out of anybody who deserves the most compassion, I'm not talking about not having boundaries, but the most compassion would be a devil type energy, or a codependent type energy. Because they act from a wounded state. So if they or we, masculine or feminine, is going through any of this, why would compassion not be needed? If you were on your journey the way you needed to be, I don't think as much of that would matter. And another thing that would be great about it is whether it turns out, because what if it's not who you think it is? Wouldn't matter. Like I feel like when you focus that much on stuff, you're setting up expectations for the connection, for how it goes, for who it is, for what you do, for when you're gonna get going. Like, what are you waiting on to get going? Until they contact you and are like, hey, I realized this and this, or hey, I found this out and I'm here and I've already gotten my stuff going and now I'm on the heart page and figured that out. But the feminine didn't get to their work because they were sitting there trying to wait and heal and send positive vibes. And yeah, send positive vibes. Just by raising your own frequency, it sends them higher frequencies. A lot of people are sitting and healing and they don't even know what they're doing. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm wrapping this up at. Just start to think about what you're doing. Start to think about where you're focusing your energy. Where are you focusing your time? Think about things from a logical standpoint right now. Put things black and white on paper if you have to. If you have to, shut down the romanticism idea of it. We know what it is. It's there. It's not going anywhere. We know. We get it. It's time to be logical. It's time to take on that masculine energy. It's time to stop thinking about the foo-foo and the la-la. It's time to go. Get things done. Because no matter what happens with that, this is your life. This is your journey. And it would suck to be like how many years down the road still waiting. Wishing that you had started and worked on that masculine part of your energy a lot earlier because you were just sitting there waiting. Which, newsflash, that holds up. unions and frequencies being on the same and coming together. Why? Because you're codependent. If you are sitting there waiting, if you're sitting there watching, if you're sitting there doing all of that, you are in a codependent energy. And as long as you are in a codependent energy, guess what happens? Repel. If you do have a magnetism, you're going to repel just as fast as it came. And you got more karma now built up. More crap to deal with. Like, I am the biggest one that has the hardest time with this too. Like, my Venus is in Pisces. And I really have to pull myself out of stuff and pull my glasses off a lot of times. And remember that it really doesn't matter if this is a spiritual connection or whatever. What matters is what we're doing and the self-healing and the self-love. I'm not saying not to have that. Like, there's a place for having the hope and the romantic side and the rose-colored glasses, even if you will, in a healthy way. But I feel like so many of the feminines are getting that nudge because things are not in a healthy way. They're not. And there is no reason to be sitting around wasting your valuable and worthy life and energy for somebody who is not talking to you, does not want to commit to you, or even if they don't want, because say you don't want to and you want to be single and do your work, doesn't even want to talk to you. Doesn't even want to face those things. That doesn't make them a bad person. It just means I'm worthy enough that if somebody is going to be dealing with me in my life and asking for some of my energy, you're going to be willing to dive into that stuff too. Not just me. Yeah. It's going to become a two-way street. And if not, I'm totally fine with a one-way street. Where it's me. Or if it's two, it's me and my masculine within myself or with spirit or something. It's time to push forward. It's time to stop making excuses. It's time to stop waiting. And take action. Find that part within yourself. Allow that masculine energy to come in so that it then can balance your feminine energy out, and your feminine can be like, oh wait, I can sit back and be receptive now. And then that balances with your masculine. So taking that in now balances your masculine and your feminines. Start working on your masculine sides. Don't shut off your heart chakra or connection to spirit or anything like that. I'm not saying any of that. But this is a time of while going apart, and this is a huge part of what I see and what I feel of work. And I really, really, really believe that the masculines are having to delve in and work on their feminines, and the feminines are having to really delve in and work on their masculine part of themselves. Take action on that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are really being pushed and can feel it, and the energies. So I don't know. I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this reading that I have right here. I pretty much described a lot of the energies on it anyways. I mean, it's all about, you see the strong connection, you see healing. Both are having certain types of awakenings, realizations, letting things go, letting things fall so they can rebuild and come back to life. healing, past issues, being triggered. And it's not even by your feminine, it's by various things in life. Just seeing like negative thought patterns and the way you think about things and how they hold you up. And either overdoing things because you took it wrong, or underdoing things and not speaking your mind when you have a right to stand there in your power. Move your energy. I don't know. I'm going to go, though. I think tomorrow, though, I am going to start doing, like, the horoscope readings. Especially since, I don't know, I just want a difference in energy and focusing on different things and all that. But, I don't know. This probably isn't going to get a whole lot of likes. Probably not as many views as I would like. And that's okay, because right now I don't even know if I'm in that phase. Like, I just want to do with getting the message out, being there for myself, doing what I love and what feels good to me. And hopefully the right people do see this video, that, I don't know, something in my discombobulated message that I was able to get out really spoke to somebody. I don't even know, but it's kind of where my mind's at right now, where it's just really figuring things out, but kind of feeling weird and stuck in that switch in perspective that I'm in the middle of, that is just like not my normal way of thinking. So in a way it like feels good, but in a way it's like but it's needed, because the other way wasn't working. It was definitely not working. And I want to go. I want to move to the next part of my journey and balancing myself out and being there for myself. I don't want to depend on other things anymore. I don't want to depend on other people. I mean, I'm not saying in a bad, unhealthy way of, you know, going away. That's not what I'm saying. But, you know, even when things get scary, I need to look and grab. Like being there for myself. And knowing that it's okay either way. I don't know. I'm gonna go. It's just getting weirder and weirder. It's like, it's a weird energy and it's just weird. I don't know, but hopefully someone resonates with this. I don't know if I'm the only feminine going through this. I don't know if this is just me going through another part of my own awakening. I don't know if this is feminines. I have no freaking clue. But anyways, I hope everybody's good. I want to start putting out the tarot videos. I'm going to try to push through it and take action, because, you know, part of my body is like, no, it's ain't rest. So I'm going to balance it. A little bit of meditation, walking, doing little things like that, and try to get at least one video out a day and really discipline myself. But I'm going to listen to my body. Anyways, you'll get it. You'll see. I hope everybody's doing good. I love you guys. This isn't my normal flow, but, you know, I'm not going to judge myself. So I hope this helps somebody. If this is resonating with you, please let me know in the comments. I don't need any negative stuff either, by the way. I'm not even paying attention to it. I don't even care. But if it's resonating with you, please let me know. So it would just be nice to know whether there's anyone else feeling the energy, whether you figure something out. Is it the feminines? Is it, I don't even know. I'm sure the planets are involved too. I mean, that only makes sense. It's how it works and is pushed too. But anyways, I love you. Thank you for everything. And I'll be talking to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye. Hey guys, I have one more message that I did want to say. I do feel like during the split away that there is a reason and growth that both are going on. while the masculines are figuring stuff out about their feminine and emotional side, you know, there might be a lot of stuff that opens up for them. And remember how you were, I know how I was, when mine first opened up and was like grabbing and gripping on for dear life, and all this stuff was flooding forward, and you get it, you know. So another part of what you're supposed to do and take action right now and step away, and what I was saying about finding your value, finding your worth, standing up, knowing who you are, another part of that is because you're going to need that. Like, I feel like this is going to come back around. People are feeling that shift, and I was saying how it seems to be going separately, and it's almost dark. You're standing on your own again. I almost feel even like a disconnect in the energy. It is to know your worth for what is coming back around, because there was another card I had too that was like something about the calm before the storm, like a storm coming or whatever. And then there was this card. I was picking up the cards because I'm not going with that other spread, and it was the breaking. Not really a whole lot you can see on the card, but I'm gonna read to you the breaking. And it says, you are breaking apart. You might not understand it at all. There is not so much to be understood, but the simplicity doesn't mean it is easy to endure. You may worry that you are going too far, that you may not recover or ever come back together again. But what can you do? Can you hold back from the divine love that calls you, that lures you to becoming all that you are, to remembering your divine nature? Well, you could try, but for what purpose? Temporary rest before the storm at best. So take the rest if you need it, then dive into the storm. Let yourself be brokenhearted to the divine, so that you can become your truth. Become all that you are meant to be. It is better to have the heart broken so that it grows, than to be brokenhearted by thinking that you must protect yourself from love. This oracle brings compassionate guidance that no matter what sadness or anger, despair or frustration you may feel, you are being pulled apart not by dark forces, but by the loving embrace of the divine, as it strips you of that which would keep you from your divine realization. Let go and break, as it's going to be the making of you. So it might be them coming back down, gripping for dear life, and you have to have enough worth in yourself to be like, whoa, you know, calm down, no, like, because they're not going to be where they need to be yet. You know, they're breaking open, like the breaking. So not only is it a breaking of the energy, but their heart is breaking open. And I know how I was during that time. You know, I was adamant. I was very adamant. I was very pushy. Not even like that masculine strong. Like, I may be a masculine feminine as far as out of balance in that, but not like that pushy masculine that y'all know what I'm talking about. So you're going to need it. You're going to need your strength. You're going to need your worth. You're going to need... Why didn't all this come? It's like as soon as I went off, it was like, clear. So you're going to need that. You're going to need that strength. You're going to need that worth, that getting it together, that moving forward, that knowing, and having yours in place so you could kind of like balance them out and be like, yo, you need to calm down. Like, but compassion and knowing where they came from because you were there too. Let me see. I saved something one time because I thought it was like pretty beautiful for like a twin flame kind of poem thing. It was like the Shakti card, pretty much about like an awakening, like the Kundalini energy, what happens. I don't know if I'll have time to read it. I might read it in another one, but I'll read the poem. But it says, I have watched you hurting and felt helpless to make life better for you. Loving you is having to make choices to let you be who you are, who you become, and all the who's yet to come. To love you is to ride the waves of your passionate embrace of life, ever mindful of the change in the wind and the occasional tempest brewing. Loving you is having to make choices, knowing it isn't my fault. I can still choose to take it personally or just be while I listen and watch you unfold. Your heart is a beauty I will always love. It's the part of you that hasn't changed much over time. When I lie beside you and hear your breath, when I touch your skin or caress your hair, you are timeless and I choose loving you. I thought that was really beautiful. So, I don't know. I'll read the Shakti part another time because that's really good. I mean, it's kind of all about, like, I don't know, people on the twin flame journey go through that type of awakening. So I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to put that in there, especially the breaking part. Like, please heed what I was saying and think about that stuff. I might do another video on it. I don't know. My mind's like all clear now and everything. I was clearly being blocked or something. I don't know. But really do the work, because whether it's for yourself in your journey or something coming in, you need to be in the right mind, the right energy, strengthened, and still compassionate, but like going. The calm before the storm. Study before the test. I don't know, whatever, you get it. I love you. I just wanted to say that. Bye.